Hello and welcome back to A-Level Math Mastery, where complex math becomes clear and success becomes simple. In today's episode, we are diving deeper into the world of absolute value. We'll be exploring the remaining 4 important properties you need to know. Property 8. The absolute value of 0, Property 10. How absolute value works with fractions. Property 11, the famous triangle inequality. And Property 12, the reverse triangle inequality. I'll explain each one completely in words with simple examples, so you can truly understand the logic behind these rules. Whether you're preparing for your A-level exams, or just want to master math once and for all, you're in the right place. So grab your notebook and let's get started. Property 8. The absolute value of x squared is equal to x squared. This property says that if you square any number, positive or negative, its result is always non-negative. The absolute value of that result is simply the number itself, because squares cannot be negative. So taking the absolute value after squaring does nothing. You'll just get the square back. Let's take x as -3. -3 squared is 9. The absolute value of 9 is 9. So, whether we square the number first and then take the absolute value, or take the absolute value first and then square it, the result is the same. Therefore, the absolute value of x squared is equal to x squared. Property 10. The absolute value of x plus y is less than or equal to the absolute value of x plus the absolute value of y. This is the famous triangle inequality. It means that when you add two numbers and then take the absolute value of the result, it is always less than or equal to adding the absolute values of those two numbers separately. This is like saying the straight line distance between 2 points is the shortest path. Any other route will be equal or longer. Suppose x is -5 and y is 2. Add them first. -5 plus 2 equals -3. The absolute value of -3 is 3. Now look at their absolute values separately. The absolute value of -5 is 5. The absolute value of 2 is 2. Adding them gives 7. 3 is less than 7, so the property is true. So, the absolute value of x plus y is less than or equal to the sum of the absolute values of x and y. Property 11. The absolute value of the difference between x and y is less than or equal to the absolute value of the difference between x and z, plus the absolute value of the difference between z and y. This is an extended version of the triangle inequality. It tells us that the direct distance between two numbers is always less than or equal to going through a third number. Imagine 3 points on a number line, x, y, and z. The distance from x to y directly is always less than or equal to the distance from x to z, plus the distance from z to y. Suppose x is 1, y is 7, and z is 4. The absolute value of 1 minus 7 is 6. Now, look at going through z. The absolute value of 1 minus 4 is 3. The absolute value of 4 minus 7 is also 3. Add them. 3 plus 3 equals 6. Since 6 is equal to 6, the inequality holds. So, the absolute value of the difference between x and y is less than or equal to the sum of the absolute value of the difference between x and z and the absolute value of the difference between z and y. Property 12. The absolute value of the difference between the absolute values of x and y is less than or equal to the absolute value of the difference between x and y. This is called the reverse triangle inequality. It tells us that the difference between how far x and y each are from 0 cannot be larger than the distance between x and y themselves. So, the difference between the lengths from 0 cannot exceed the total distance between the two numbers. Suppose x is 8 and y is 5. The absolute value of 8 is 8. The absolute value of 5 is 5. The difference between these absolute values is 3. Now, look at the absolute value of 8 minus 5. 8 minus 5 is 3, and its absolute value is 3. So 3 is equal to 3 and the property holds. This confirms the absolute value of the difference of the absolute values is less than or equal to the absolute value of the difference between the numbers. And that wraps up our journey through properties 8, 10, 11, and 12 of absolute value. We've seen how absolute value isn't just a set of rules, but a powerful tool for understanding distance, comparisons, and inequalities in mathematics. Understanding these properties will help you tackle proofs, solve tricky exam questions, and feel more confident in your math skills. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like. Subscribe to A-Level Math Mastery and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new lesson. In our next episode, we'll be looking at bounded set, both bounded below and bounded above. Until then, keep practicing, stay confident, and keep mastering math right here at A-Level Math Mastery. See you in the next video.